Hello and welcome to Just the Tips with T4. I, of course, am the fugly and lonely T4. Today, we are talking the Rake in Enshrouded. Let's get into it. Now, if you're anything like me, your game didn't want you to make the Rake. In fact, I didn't even know it was an option in the game until I unlocked the Scrappy Rake. Now, from what I understand, by looking at the community Discord, this is kind of a widespread problem. You're supposed to be able to make the rake here at this bench, at the workbench. If we scroll down, it's not even showing up for me, and I am holding the Scrappy Rake. So what I did was I hit J, go to workshops, go to workbench, and it showed up in here for me. And then once it showed up in here, I was able to then go to the workbench and build it. But as you can see, it's not here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna exit. We're going to return to the main menu. Go back in. And now before I do anything else, we're going back into the workshops and we're going to the workbench. And we're gonna see, is it here? And there it is right there. It shows up. Click on it to acknowledge it. And then we go back to the workbench, which for me and my little village setup is a bit of a hike, I'm sorry. And then we go into our workbench and boom, we can make it. Now what I did was as soon as I built the rake, I came over here to the forger, Oswald, and I said, hey dude, before I lose the ability to make a rake again, can we go ahead and make a scrappy rake? That way, I know I'm good. So now I have 2 scrappy rakes, and that's okay. I'll just come over here to my storehouse, and I'll put the extra rake away in case a buddy or somebody comes to join my game. I promise, I have friends that I play with. I just do a lot of my YouTube stuff alone. Now T4, now that we have the rake, what are we gonna do with it? Well, the main thing you're gonna do with it is you're gonna find a spot that you like the elevation of. You're gonna look at the ground, and you're gonna hold the mouse button and just walk around and flatten everything out. And you see it both raises, it lowers, and it moves the ground in a way that you can keep walking. Oh, am I wrong? I'm wrong. So it doesn't take anything from your inventory, and it does a pretty good job. Now, T4, I want to build a farm, and I see that you have 19 farmland in your inventory here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to my build hammer. I'm going to say, hey, I wanna build a farm right here. And the way we do that is we open our menu by hitting Alt, we scroll down to terrain, and then we hit Control and we pick the farm soil, okay? And then with no hand on the keyboard, we pick the smallest size we can, although it's all one farmland except for that one, so that's not a big deal. But what you do is you place some farmland. I'll do it somewhere other than here because I've already done here. Let's build another, we'll build a strip right here just for the sake of the video. Right, so boom, now this is farmland. And then I'm gonna tab out. I'm gonna go back to my rake. And same as I did over there, but here I'm gonna stand on the farmland first, hold the mouse button down, and then just walk. And it's spreading the farmland without touching my inventory. So you can see I just did this whole ring, and I still have 18 farm soil in my inventory. Now the only other thing the rake does that I've seen so far is if you hold the R button and then move your scroll wheel, it changes the angle. Which, I mean, that's a pretty good way to dig if you want to dig down really quick, but you're not going to get any resources doing that. And I haven't really played with this just yet, but to me, this seems like a good way to make your paths if you want to make slanted paths, or if you want to get really detailed on your ground control. But for me, it's not gonna do anything special for me, so I'm just gonna cover this up. There we go. Flatten this back out. And there. Bada boom, bada bing. And that's just the tips with T4. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons. I'm going to be covering more Enshrouded. I'll see you later.